And now let's stop and talk about some of the stuff we went over. Her colors here, which I would have thought when I originally did research, but I didn't go with it, was going to be the colors of the elements, and she is a goddess of 4 colors. But each person has a different representation. For me, red represents fire, yellow represents air, um, blue represents water, and green usually represents earth. But she has the color there of orange, which kind of threw me off, you know. Maybe Batman orange was a representation of something else. That might have been a representation for Earth. I don't know. Mainly the colors to represent Earth is brown or green. But yeah, she, and being a master of the elements, that's another reason you don't want to mess with her. But she can control all elements. Anyhow, her main element is fire. And Imbolc, which is interesting about Imbolc, her symbol is a symbol of Imbolc. So Imbolc is dedicated to her. So whenever you do if you ever follow the Sabbath and you do rituals on the Sabbath, always mention Goddess Brigid, because that symbol Imbolc is to represent her. Imbolc was created basically in her image, because they use the symbol of Imbolc to represent her. And the associated planet being Venus, Venus has always been a planet of the goddesses to represent love. Oh, let's look back at the Greek and Roman. Venus being Roman, goddess of love. Aphrodite being the goddess of love. And her planet was Venus. A lot of goddesses we have went over that were goddesses of love. The sacred planet was usually Venus. Now, she had 9 representations that you can use or put on your altar if you follow her. Her representation is the cauldron, the wastel, I'll put the link below, this one, coins, and bulk symbol. The eternal flame, a mantle, a well, and a corn doll. And her herbs and incense is, she has 2. Blackberries, and milk. And it would be really cool if you had a fireplace and you set up, this is my idea if I had one, to set up an altar around the fireplace, because you could, and you followed her, think about it, sacred flame, a fireplace, you could light a fire with logs, you could put coins on the mantle. Mantle is another symbol of hers. Corn doll, you could put that on the mantle. The hearth is actually what she's goddess of, which the hearth is a mantle, a fireplace. So a cauldron you could hang inside, and a roaster. That's what I was trying to say before. And her herbs and incense, she takes after, before I get to that, but she takes after her mother here in herbs, and her mother was the goddess we just did. Blackberries is one of her sacred herbs. So I guess she's kind of like, hey mom, I really like, blackberries. So that's very good. And milk. To honor her as an offering, food offering, a really good idea is to quench blackberries in the milk, or I think they sell blackberry milk. I never really heard of it, but I'm sure they do, or you can make it yourself by mixing it in a blender. And I'm not sure, it tastes pretty good. Anyhow, her mother was goddess Bo-Ann, goddess of rivers. Her father was god Degnan, father of the gods. She was the wife of god Bless, god of fertility. And before we go on, let's look here. Now I know I said that she, like I said that she was a demigod, right? When she was human. Well, it says here that she had two divine parents. The reason I'm saying demigod here is because Bo-Ann was her mother. But as we said before, Bo-Ann did not become a goddess till she chose to, till she broke the rules and went in search of that well of knowledge, which and then she became a goddess. So she had Brigid before she did that. And her father was god Dugna, father of the gods. Dugna is basically the father of, that's why he's called father of the gods, because he basically is the father of every god and goddess, just about. Lady Goddess Morgan basically took her away from her mother when she was very young. Like I said, she took her away from Bo-Ann to teach her the way of goddess. Again, I will reference the movie The Mist of Avalon. Please check it out. It is really cool. She had four divine children. Not divine. She had three children that pop up in the story as well. Well, at least one of them does. But here are the three. And there they are. Now, in the story, also, when her brother and her were taken away from their parents as very young, their father was actually a king, which could have been misconstrued, but this is by the movie The Mist of Avalon. I'm giving you a little history there. I don't want to spoil the whole movie for you, but basically these are stories that were put together, of her life. As we know, stories change in translation, and over the years, things get lost. But basically, her brother and her were taken away from their mother, Bo-Ann, at a very young age. She was taken to learn the way of the goddess by goddess Morgan, and her brother was taken away to learn the way of the god by the wizard, what was his name? I can't believe I forget it. He was King Arthur's Merlin. He was taken away by Merlin. And there are some research saying that Goddess Morgan is also called Lady Morgan Le Fay. That Morgan Le Fay taught her, and that Morgan Le Fay was also Morgan's sister. Anyhow, Merlin took her brother, who later became King Arthur, to train him in the way of the god. And Morgan trained Goddess Brigid in the way of the goddess. And the story goes on Beltane. They were masked. They haven't seen each other when they became adults for a long time, and they didn't know each other because of this. Since they were separated, they were masked to do the ritual of the god and goddess having sex. Beltane is a ritual of love, hormonal, and sex. And they put them together. They were both masked, so they didn't know each other. They couldn't tell who one was. And they had sex, and she got pregnant. And hence being pregnant, she had King Arthur's watch rival, which was her son. So they basically had a son that was of incest, but that's common within the gods and the pantheons. So again, watch that movie, Mist of Avalon. It's a really good movie. And this has been it for Goddess Brigid. May the gods and goddesses bless you all. Bye.